This woman blew a kiss at me the other day, and I caught it. Then I heard, I looked behind me, this big black dude just staring at me. And I was like, I done caught this kiss.
We are back with actor and comedian Deon Cole. That's a clip from his new Netflix special, Okay, Mister, it is out now. You're actually a lot shyer than people realize. And I didn't realize that until the quarantine, and you started DJing from home.
Yeah.
And then I'm like you, I observe people, and I was like, he's a much more introverted person. Is that a comic thing? Richard Pryor, Robin Will, you hear a lot about comedians having this alter side.
Yeah, I think you can't be the smartest person in the room if you're teaching, you know? So I figure like if I'm quiet, I can learn more. And so that's what I do. I try to just be quiet and learn and listen. Because you can play a room a certain way, you know? You can come in a room like, let's say you don't like cars, okay? And if I come in a room and I start talking about how much I love cars, before you say that, then it might trigger our energy. I'd rather come in quiet, let you say how much you don't like cars, and then I can go, yeah, I don't like cars neither.
I like that. You gotta learn where they are. Well, that's a good point, because I mean, I'll be honest with the audience, I've tried to get you on the show a couple of times, and schedules didn't work out. And then, I believe it was the last time I wanted you on, and the team called me and they said your mom had passed away.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you describe her as your whole world.
Yeah.
The 3rd anniversary of her passing, September 10th. She passed away in 2021. And then I saw your post about her just recently, and it, I mean, we were all crying when we read it.
Yeah.
And you said, you know, you lived through me, and that should always be my focus.
Yeah.
And you've learned to grieve publicly.
Yeah, it still affects me, like really, really bad. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, like it affects me to this day. And you know, I'm the only child, so everything I did was like for me and her. And you know, the sacrifices that she made for me was like unreal. I never knew how bad we were struggling because of the love that was there. And then later on, I looked back and I was like, we was doing what? And it made me like really look after her. But I remember I was talking to my auntie, and my auntie, as hard as I grieved, and I didn't eat for like weeks. And my aunt was like, yo, if you had the opportunity to bring her back, would you? And I was like, it had me pause for a minute. Like, she was like, down here with war and diseases and all that, would you bring her back? And selfishly, I was like, yeah, but then realistically, I was like, yeah, then what? You know? And so I have to live with this, and I just always think about that, you know? And now what I do is every little thing that I do, whether it be opening a company or whatever, like my new company, Charlene's Boy Productions, like I do everything in her name, you know? And so, yeah, like she lives through me through what I do, and so every day I you know, think about it, and you know, I miss her so bad, like for real, you know? Yeah, for real.
It's an interesting thing too, because I mean, obviously, she will always be watching over you. And I thought about it when you posted about her, like surreal moments, like you were performing and Paul McCartney was in the audience, and Paul McCartney apparently was the heckler. The great Paul McCartney comes on stage, you posted it on Instagram, and you actually, the kid who started his career with a $50 bet has his mom as an angel and Paul McCartney as a heckler. That's a heck of a life. That's a heck of a life. I mean, you're hanging out with the Beatles.
Yo, no, shout out to Paul, man. I never thought I'd say that.
I know, right? Shout out to Paul. And
shout out to my man Paul.
And I'm like, the little guy, what is it, the kid from Chicago hanging out with Paul McCartney.
He's a wonderful guy. Wonderful.
Is this what you imagined? Is this what you imagined?
Nah, I didn't imagine none of this. You know, this was when you're a comic, the only thing you can think about is your next show. You know, and so whatever that brings, then you tackle it when it comes. But nothing matters but that next show, that next set. I remember Questlove. He was nominated before he won his Oscar. The night before he won his Oscar, which is huge, right? He DJ'd the night before. He cared about what records he played more than the Oscar. You know what I mean? So it's
because what you're doing in that
what you
moment
love
matters
to do
most.
Matters most. Yeah. And so, you know, stand up is stand up, and whatever comes from it, you know, it comes.